Lakers all decked out as they made their way off the bus and into the arena earlier on. And the game arrivals sponsored by Express. Dress like a pro. The downtown skyline illuminating the night here at our broadcast location, Memphis, Tennessee. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. So glad you could join us on this Saturday night. Kevin Harlan here with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter is David Aldridge. Just a quick look now at how the point totals have looked over the last few months for James.
Look, sometimes you go up, sometimes down, and the trend has been on the downward side in terms of his average points per game. And a variety of factors can be the culprits. And a lot of times you focus on the efficiency more than just pure point output.
And now the Lakers starting group, LeBron and Davis, the incredible forward pair. Get out there with Dion Waiters, and it's Howard in at the center, filling out the middle. And for the Grizzlies, Jackson and Valanciunas, they're in the middle. Morant and Brooks manning the backcourt, and it's Winslow in at the 3. Now, Clark, midseason rumors now in full session. When a player requests a trade, how strongly do you think that affects team chemistry?
You know, Kevin, I'm all for players voicing their choice and actually having an opportunity to express themselves, but it can be detrimental if a player in the middle of a season makes it known that he's not interested in being there. It can have a terrible effect on team chemistry, in my opinion.
Jackson gets the bucket.
To commend the unselfish attitude, like how Morant just recognized the open man when the ball was right there.
Here's the kid. He really played well in that last game against Golden State. It's good.
Wow, he was just wide open there. That's way too easy.
And it's the Grizzlies with the ball. This game coming on the heels of their win against the Kings.
And the bench turned up in that one. Whatever they couldn't get from their starters, they got from the reserves.
Well, you know, you hear about the importance of having depth all the time, bench players that contributed. Last game, their bench came alive.
Here's the kid. Pass to Waiters. Here's the kid. James looking it over. Here's Rojo. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
Boy, you got to love that assist by LeBron.
And here's Morant. A 32-point game for him in the win against Sacramento. Lays it up and banks it in.
How about the handles from the young fellow? Give Morant credit for taking the initiative and capitalizing.
And here in the first, closing in on 2 minutes play. Here's the kid, providing around 26.5.
He's a brave man. You're risking life and limb trying to move like that.
He couldn't pass it up, though, right? Letting it all go.
You know, that's exactly what the fans love to see, guys. I mean, they're paying good money, big money. They want wins, but they also want to be entertained.
Lakers have gotten their first 3 shots to go in for to start off this game. Stolen by Brooks. They're running, and here we go. And the dunk by Valanciunas.
Great teamwork punctuated by a strong finish.
That is the perfect fast break, guys. Getting a hoop before the defense can get set.
Here's the kid. A shot off that time. Nice feed from Valanciunas. Just over 2.5 minutes played here so far in the first quarter. From 12 feet out. That one wide left. Lakers trail by 3. Here's Davis. And Davis throws it down.
How about the leaping ability of Davis? Easily gets off the ground to throw it down. And he's a quick jumper and decision maker.
For the Lakers, they won their last contest, that game against the Golden State Warriors. So timeout called here. The first for Memphis. And the trade for Anthony Davis, a risk for the Lakers, but they feel, Greg, that both sides will find an extension this offseason.
And there is mutual interest from both sides. Lakers made the trade confident Davis would resign. A bit of a leap of faith, but the Lakers did everything they could to secure Davis long term.
Grizzlies making a switch here. Shanks checked in. Now a chance to check out which rookies are the best of the best. Still in February, so there is a lot of season left to go. But this group, folks, has separated themselves in the race for Rookie of the Year. And you look at the kid all season long. He has proven again and again that he's the cream of the crop. He's in the top spot right now, and the hardware could be his.
And there's no more deserving candidate. Any other outcome than him lifting that Rookie of the Year trophy, and I'd be shocked.
Me too, Greg. I mean, the way he has sustained his level of play for the entire season, that's what's most impressive, the consistency of his performance. He hasn't had the major ups and downs that so many rookies go through.
First quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. Brooks against Waiters. Now here's Brooks. He's covered closely. And it's Morant missing.
And on an open look like that, he's very gifted at making the weak coverage pay.
LeBron shot is off.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
To the paint. Here's Morant. Doesn't go that time. Excellent D from the kid. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need the basket. And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish.
Part of what makes him unique, guys, that combination of power and power.
And that one's good. Morant.
For a great shooter, Morant really works for high percentage shots. Loves to take it inside. Puts the D in a tough spot when you have a point guard who can throw it down.
He really does, GA. He really does put pressure on him.
And you know, guys, showing how dynamic a weapon he is for this offense, they feed off of that energy and ability to make plays. It gets them going. You know, he just...
And the pass there floated it up to the precise spot it needed to be.
And no messing around on the finish. He powers it through.
And that's an alley-oop that'll be loop-to-loop all day long on the highlight reel.
Winslow's shot is off. The Lakers in the lead. Morant with the steal. And denied. He sends it right off the glass.
That's not something we see too often.
Timed perfectly. Caught the defense totally off guard.
I tell you what, the coach's heart was in his throat, and he was in shock and awe. But now, he's got a big smile on him.
Basket good. Jackson's got 5.
And this is something Morant does well. His knack for knowing when to make that feed is impressive.
And the rejection by Jackson. Another shot. No good on the shot. A bit long that time.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that.
The shot's good. He's got 8.
And how about the body control? Morant, even when under duress, stays calm, cool, and collected.
Oh, yes, sir. Come on, bring it.
Wow. We are going to remember that one for a while.
I know I will, Greg. That was special. That was really special.
A circus dunk for you right there, guys.
Jackson, this is to Morant. LeBron against Winslow. Outside Jackson, out left to the wing. Off target from three-point range. And here's Los Angeles. Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Hey, Kevin, I was able to talk with Memphis' head coach. Coach knows that the Lakers have had an advantage over him this season, beating him twice in the 3 meetings. He said that dealing with LeBron is still asking the impossible, but we'll try something different. He said we might see as many as 3 or 4 different defenders taking their turns on the rock to give them different looks. Well, lots of teams have tried that over the years. We'll see if they can make it work. Guys?
Thanks, David. Catching up on the changes for Memphis. Clark, he's checked in for Jackson. Anthony Melton comes in for Brooks. And Tyus Jones subbed in for Morant. Anderson, he's checked in for the Grizzlies. The Lakers also changing it up. Kyle Kuzma's checked in for James. Green comes in for Dion Waiters. Ends up going with the new group. And Valanciunas kicks to Winslow. Passes it to Morant. And good that time. Morant's got the lead up to 3 now for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, when Morant gets it dialed up, he can be unstoppable in just too many ways to score.
Morant and Brooks manning the backcourt. Jackson and Valanciunas, they're in the middle. And it's Winslow in at the 3 spot. That's the lineup in the game for Memphis. And here's James. He'll bring it up for the Los Angeles Lakers. Looking ahead to their next game, playing at New Orleans. They'll match up against the Pelicans. Into the 3rd game of this 3-game road trip.
You know, I think you just got to be a little smarter around Howard. That guy's, I mean, Howard's pretty crafty at drawing contact on the way up.
Let's look at the energy stats, how the hustle game has been going for Memphis.
You know, they've done a great job of getting a hand up on shooters. Actually have gotten a lot of blocks as well, solidifying that defensive effort.
And also, they've been really active on the defensive end in terms of applying pressure and coming away with steals.
And that one misses. Clark, I have sat next to you doing these games for years. What's prevented you from taking a coaching position at some level? Because I hear you talk, I'm thinking you'd be a perfect coach.
Well, a couple of things. One, coaching never lets up. It's always on you, and I've come to enjoy the fact that I can be fully immersed as a broadcaster and work with great guys like you and others, and then have a period of time where I don't have to be immersed in basketball, and I've enjoyed that. And I also haven't trained or prepared to be a coach because it is demanding in terms of the hours that you have to put in. And I've got a little more job security, I think, in the role that I serve as an analyst as opposed to what might happen if I did try to be a coach.
You've got all the security in the world, believe me.
And purely from a physical standpoint, Ja Morant has it all. The height, the long arms, the frame to put on more weight, and few players are more explosive athletically.
Dion Waiters checked in for the Lakers. And he makes both free throws. And with Morant, you not only get the physical attributes, Greg, you get the mental toughness and awareness.
This kid loves to compete. The bigger the game, the bigger he plays. I think we're looking at a potential all-NBA performer when it's all said and done.
Winslow, wide open. He fires, and a miss there on the triple. Lakers trail by 4. Here's Rojo. And the rejection by Valanciunas. For Memphis, they've gone 2 of 4 shooting the ball here in the second. Here's Morant. Unable to get that one. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. Floats it up for Waiters. Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. And there's Jackson on the assist by Morant. Morant's got 3 assists in the game. Lakers have gone 1 of 6 from the field in the second quarter. It's been a rough period so far. The kid passes to Morris. Closing in on 4 minutes played here in the second quarter. Rojo, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up.
I'll tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give a chance for the and one.
The Lakers have gone 1 for 2 on the night so far from the line.
And the season numbers for them at the line thus far are really poor. Something I'm sure they are making a point of emphasizing.
percentage has dropped off just a little bit compared to last year, guys, but it's not a huge drop-off, so no major concern.
Both free throws good from the kid.
Yeah, in this quarter, they've had the right approach, driving and drawing, initiating contact, create opportunities, get to the line.
Yeah, I like everything you said there, because when all else fails, if you can get to the stripe, that's really a good way to change the momentum in the game, because you get points and you also slow down the opponent because the game isn't going up and down as much.
Second chance shot. And the rebound goes to the Grizzlies. And the kid picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. And the Grizzlies leading by 4. Puts one up, and they call the foul. So he's got the and one chance here to make it a three-point play.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
And this kid, John Morant, came out of nowhere, under-recruited in high school, showed some promise in that first year college, but boy, did he blow up.
And Morant really impacts the game in every area.
It's incredible, Kevin. He gives you the points, the assists, the rebounds, but then you look at the box score and you also see a block, a couple steals. And I like that he shoots a high percentage at the line.
Now the pass to Valanciunas. Kicks to Morant. Pass to Winslow. On the wing, Jackson, covered by Morris.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. The feed to Brooks. Jackson has the open look. And another miss by Memphis.
He hit 1-3 in the first, but the well has been totally dry for him in the second.
And LeBron James gets it to go.
Tell you what, if he's within shouting distance of the basket, he's going to get his buckets. You can count on that.
Here's Morant. 17 points in the game. Jackson against Morris. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. It's going to go on Markieff Morris.
The Grizzlies have been a winning team for most of the last decade. Injuries snapped their playoff streak back in 18, but the silver lining, a top draft pick they used to select Jaren Jackson.
And he's good on the second. And in his rookie season, Jaren Jackson, the youngest player in the league, he seemed NBA ready.
And already he impacts the game on both ends of the floor. A ton of upside with this young man. He's already helping the Grizz win games.
Pass to Morant. And finished up by Morant.
A strong finisher. Morant doesn't mess around when he's got ideal positioning like that.
So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles. And Clark, your love for the Buckeye State has never been questioned. What was the best part of growing up as a kid in Ohio?
Well, I think a number of things. One, having family around, extended family as well as immediate family, but also the sports love that exists throughout the state. And being able to experience that and enjoy that with my dad and siblings, that's special. And having a career in basketball that I've had makes it even more special.
LeBron, that's a two-pointer. That one falls. His second basket of the game. He's now 2 for 3.
James is really a clever player. I mean, he uses trickery as much as he does brute force, proving to be one step ahead of them there.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. Well, the kid in his last game against the Warriors was outstanding. He tallied 50 points, and his passing was just incredible. Piled up an impressive number of assists. The stat line was filled, and the whole league is talking about it. We'll see what he does for an encore tonight, Kevin.
Thank you, David. You're right. He was a one-man wrecking crew in that one.
Yeah, he was not going to let them lose that game. We'll see if he comes in with that same attitude tonight.
Yeah, you know, every night's different. They may try to double him, might force him to adjust, or force him to make plays with the pass instead. We'll see. And, you know, quite a bit of turnover for the Lakers in recent years, guys, from the front office to the coaching staff. I think it's always important for an organization to have a common voice to speak in stereo and have everybody in proper alignment from the top down to the court.
And he can't get the first one. And as the Lakers have looked to fill positions, Clark, a real affinity for candidates with the Lakers' history.
Yeah, you know, that's exactly right. They view it as a family, but here recently, they've expanded their options and have looked outside of past Laker pedigree in terms of filling some key spots, which is part of what you have to do if you're going to move forward and be successful.
And the second free throw, good.
Boy, Valanciunas, a mountain of a man, a solid big guy who scores well and provides a lot of length and muscle inside.
Here's Rojo, and he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for two. That's on Jaren Jackson.
I mean, even from over here, you can see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the officials.
And the first one drops.
And just a much better job of attacking and getting to the line here in the second quarter. Didn't have a single attempt in the first.
The Grizzlies' coaching search took 2 months. They finally settled on Taylor Jenkins, a former assistant coach with the Milwaukee Bucks.
Jenkins, with an economics degree from Penn, fits the young academic profile of this Memphis front office. Worked for the Spurs 6 years as an assistant under Mike Budenholzer, who was the coach of the year in 2019. That pedigree helped him get the job.
Morant with it. He's got 19. Here's Valanciunas, and it's sent back by Howard.
Excellent timing by Howard. He knows exactly when to jump to deny shot attempt.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
And you know, guys, I love his fight and grit on the interior. I mean, he never lets a shot go uncontested.
Floats one, and it's Morant missing. Los Angeles has gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. And LeBron rolls it down hard.
Tell you what, just add that one to the highlight reel. James is truly one of the greatest slam dunkers of all time.
Memphis trailing here. Now Morant. He seems to always be finding ways to score, averaging around 23.5 points a game. Feeds it to Valanciunas. Shot clock at 6. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. They come in fresh off a win against the Warriors.
Yeah, it was all hands on deck. Helps to get points off the bench when you're on the road.
Absolutely, especially on the road when you need those guys off the bench to up the ante.
The Lakers have scored 6 points from their 8 attempts at the line so far.
As we've gotten closer to halftime, their style has become more and more physical.
Boy, it certainly appears to be the case, Greg. I mean, they've spent a lot of time at the foul line this quarter, and that's the result of attacking the rim and being physical.
Chang, he's checked in for Valanciunas. And then for Los Angeles, JaVale McGee's checked in for Howard. Davis is subbed in for Morris. Winslow against LeBron. Over Davis. Winslow's shot is off.
And he rushed that one out of the Dallas position. You can see the frustration on his face. Yeah, nice, silky finish on the alley-oop from the stupendous feed.
That sequence couldn't have been executed any better.
Guys, I hope we get to see a few more of those.
Timeout called, the Grizzlies. All right, Clark, game is on the line. One free throw to make to win a big game. Who is up there for you?
Let's go with your colleague and mine.
Oh, yes.
But since he's no longer in uniform today, I will go with Steph Curry and Malcolm Brogdon.
Great names. Angeles going with almost an entire new... Making a switch here. 7 seconds left here in the second. With 1 on the clock. And so it's Los Angeles enjoying a 12-point lead as they talk things over during the break. What a night they've had in terms of their shooting. Everything dropping in for them. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks a lot. Dwight, what has been the key to performing with so much energy tonight?
Well, you know, I've been trying to do my best to get in the best shape I can. This All-Star break, I did some work, you know, just to get in better shape and expand off a little bit.
Looks like it's working out so far. Thanks, Dwight. Back to you, Kevin.
Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime. So we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter underway. With the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. A fantastic game from the kid in this one.
And the way that he has helped out with the ball movement has been a difference maker early on.
And, you know, that's not a job they asked him to do very often, but in the first half, I thought he was in perfect sync with his teammates.
Third quarter action getting rolling right now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. So for the Lakers right now, LeBron and Davis, the incredible forward pair. Deion Waiters is out there with the kid, and it's Howard in at the 5, roaming the paint. That's good from the kid. Now here's Morant. Outside Jackson. Ellinger is trying to free himself up. Jackson misses.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big key in this one, Greg. They've asserted their will and have taken control on the glass.
The Grizzlies trail by 17. Brooks outside. Passes it to Valanciunas. Over Howard. And it's wide right. It's off the rim. And here's the fast break. And he jams it with authority.
And their balanced effort at both ends has hushed this crowd.
Yeah, you said the key word there, balanced. I mean, their big lead owes as much to their defense as their offense.
And with a little over a minute gone, the second half is underway. Now here's Morant. He's guarded by Waiters. 5 on the clock. The run, and that one's good. Morant. 21 in the game.
So shift controls the pace. Morant can kill you in that mid-range area.
The 11-footer, and it's good for 2. Morant's got 4 points.
Showing no signs of slowing or cooling down. They're going to ride him as far as he can take him.
Two minutes into the second half of play now. And he drops in the layup off the glass. He's got 25.
And really scored most of their points, but he can't score them all, guys. He's going to have to get somebody else to step up.
Here's the pass to Howard. Howard controls the rebound and puts it back up and in. And the Lakers lead by 17.
Such a great rebounder. Athleticism and length. Dwight Howard knows how to use those gifts that he possesses.
Jackson kicks to Brooks. Outside for Jackson. The 3. A rebound by the Lakers. Howard's got rebound number 17, if you can believe that. Here's LeBron and the dunk by James.
LeBron James knows the meaning of the word layup, but he's much more interested in throwing it down when he can.
Clock keeps going. 3 minutes into the second half now. And here's Morant. He's got 25. Outside Jackson. No good on that one. Los Angeles leading by 19. Here's Rojo, and he uses the glass on the layup. The kid's got 28 points for the game.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
Boy, the defense looks shell-shocked. I mean, they're on the ropes right now, on their heels.
Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Jaren Jackson Jr. is the son of an NBA player. And I'm so old, I covered his dad in college. Growing up, his parents let him find his passion, but the game was always in his genes. Jackson Jr. said, "I've always prided myself on being more than just a basketball player, but I can't deny my laser focus on the sport." Kevin, he's following in his father's footsteps, but looking to create his own legacy.
Terrific mentor, but he's just getting started, David. Thank you. Lakers have gone 9 of 10 on their attempts in the third quarter. That is 90% from the field. What a roll they're on. Took the opportunity when he saw it. That's 12 points for LeBron.
Unwilling to let up even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the plane.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, my goodness. What a play.
Oh, he's putting on a show for these fans.
I can't believe he pulled that one out in the course of an actual game.
Well, when you know it, you got to show it.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Here's Rojo, and he elevates with a slam just as Winslow did not like that.
Well, if you don't take care of the ball, fellas, that's what can happen.
Absolutely, Greg. That makes the turnover even more painful.
What? You mean the throwdown at the end? I'll tell you what, fellas. I mean, the highlight shows are going to pain them even more.
And Waiters over to help. Winslow against Davis. And Davis sends it back.
Boy, I tell you what, Davis uses his length so well. I mean, a defensive stalwart who holds his ground, and because of his timing and length and athleticism, he's an excellent shot blocker.
And another turnover here by Memphis.
And guys, at this point in his career, Anthony Davis just entering his prime. Crazy to think when you look at what he's already accomplished thus far.
James with it. Now Valanciunas defending. James with the bucket. LeBron's got 14.
That makes it 10 of their last 12 coming from inside the paint.
Now here's Morant. Defense right on him. Raiders against Brooks. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Sinks the 15-footer. Brooks has got his first points of the game. And we are talking about Anthony Davis. How do you even put into words what he is able to do on the basketball court?
I mean, he's entering the conversation among the best big men of all time. On a nightly basis, dominating in so many facets of the game. Really, it's remarkable.
And he knocks down the first one. Morris is checked in for Dwight Howard. He hits one, then this is the second attempt from the free throw line. There's Winslow. They get the rebound. And there's 2 points. Working on the glass, paying off that time. Winslow's got his second basket of the game. Here's Rojo. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. That's on Jaren Jackson.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Blatant contact. Straightforward call. Simple.
That one is no good. Clark, you and I are amazed at how the global interest of the NBA has just gone through the roof. The league has made a lot of right moves, I think, in this era.
They sure have, Kevin. I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, the international reach through what coaches in this country have done in teaching the game and promoting the game. Not just coaches, but players as well. I think there's something about the game of basketball that just really transcends cultures. The pace of the game, the personality of the players, the creativity of the game. All of that lends itself to being so popular globally.
Timeout called, the Grizzlies.
And the lack of rim protection, top of the list.
And, you know, just look at the numbers, guys. I mean, they are being taken to the woodshed in the paint.
And the Grizzlies with some changes. Clark, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas, and Jones subbed in for Brooks. The Lakers also with a sub. Green's checked in. Here's Morant. That shot off the mark. Good work defensively by Morris. They've shared the load offensively.
And guys, they put the defense on their heels. You can see right now they're trying to react, and that's what you want when you're in a rhythm offensively.
Here's Jones. A look at his stats. He averages a bit over 8 points a game. Here's Morant. And that comes off the assist by Jones. Morant's got 10 points here in the second half. Here's the kid. He's got 36. He kicks it to James. 6 to shoot. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. That one's on Morant. And LeBron James, Clark, climbing the all-time scoring list. Last season passing Michael Jordan. This season, Kobe Bryant. Clark, any chance LeBron someday passes another Lakers great, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, for the... So Memphis going with almost an entire new group here. Jonas Valanciunas, he's checked in for Gorgie Dang. Jackson comes in for Clark. Justice Winslow, he's checked in for Anderson. And it's Morant in for DeAnthony Melton. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. And this is what the schedule looks like coming up for Memphis. On Monday, they'll go up against C.J. McCollum and the Atlanta Hawks. Then on Wednesday, they'll be facing Kyrie Irving and the Brooklyn Nets.
And for the game with the Mavericks, it's going to be a battle for this group. You get the feeling they'll need to be at their sharpest if they want to come away with a victory.
Catching up on the changes for Memphis. Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Josh Jackson comes in for Winslow. And Allen subbed in for Jones. Morant and Allen at the guard spots. Anthony Tolliver out there with Jackson. And it's Jackson at the 3, the small forward. That's the lineup in the game for Memphis.
And, you know, coaches will take possessions like that all day long. Phenomenal use of the screen there.
The kid passes to Caldwell Pope. Here's the kid. Some solid defense there from Jackson.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
And you know what, guys? That will pump him up because he takes a ton of pride in what he does on defense.
Here's the kid. And he goes big with the dunk right over John Morant.
Oh, that's an old-fashioned rim wrap.
Just a remarkable jam. These fans' jaws are on the ground right now.
Platinum level highlight reel material. That is Showtime stuff there.
And the kid picks up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. Regarding super teams, Clark, you and I have talked a lot about this. Many fans view them in a negative light, but they're actually something we've seen around in this game for a long time.
Yeah, you're right. So often we become prisoners of the present and we forget about what transpired in the past. But the Celtics in the 60s were as dominant as any team in the history of the game. The Lakers in the 80s, the Bulls in the 90s. But I guess fans have a complaint because they feel those teams came together more organically compared to what seems to be movement by free agents that has led to dominant championship teams. Although the Warriors pretty much have built their championship team through the draft.
Morant with it. Pass to Jackson. Shot on the wing. Rebounded by Howard. Howard's got his 20th rebound here tonight. Saw that coming. Here's Murray. Shoots over Morant. Allen with the rebound.
No one to blame on that one but himself. You get looks like that, you've got to take advantage.
And Morant gets it to go on the assist by Jackson. And that's now 33 points for John Morant. Here's the kid. To the inside. Some solid defense there from Jackson. And Joe Allen will bring it up for the Grizzlies. After this game wraps up, they're off to Atlanta where they'll take on the Hawks. That one will start off a 3-game road trip for the team. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. And let's take a moment, guys, to get your take on the scoring so far for Los Angeles.
You know, I thought maybe they'd cool off a bit at halftime, but they've continued to bury the jump shot.
They haven't wasted time getting the ball up the court tonight either, and it's resulted in a lot of fast break points.
Dishes to Morant. Clark, the two-way contract, a relatively new invention that gives players time in both the G League and the NBA.
I love it, Kevin, because it's another pathway for those aspiring to be NBA players to have a legitimate shot to make their dream come true. The G League is just a notch below the NBA in terms of overall talent. And so I love the fact that players who desire to be pros can have a pathway to get to the NBA by being part of the G League as well.
And these G League players are having an impact, aren't they? They're making a difference on a lot of teams.
40% of the players in the league have spent some time in the G League, so it speaks to the impact the G League has on the NBA.
For Los Angeles, they've gone 4 of 10 here in the final period. Not the time to go cold. Shot by Caldwell Pope, no good.
And thus far, they've managed to overcome an off game from him offensively.
On the wing, Jackson. He's covered by Murray. Jackson misses.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole because he is just not there offensively.
And Caldwell Pope gets the basket.
Whatever the defense gives, that's what he takes. A sign of a skilled offensive player.
Here's Morant. Doesn't get it to drop for him. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. Oh, Moore's in position. Hammers the alley-oop through.
You gotta love his hustle, leaving the defense no time to react.
And you know you're gonna get those buckets, guys, when you're quick to get out on the break. Get that ball up the court as fast as you can.
Here's Morant. That one goes. Count it. Morant's got 8 here in the quarter.
Despite the play of the team, I think he's had an outstanding game. He's really done well here.
Passes it to the kid. But we hear a lot about the young basketball players in this country, the good ones playing the AAU system. Is that the best way to develop talent for the NBA?
It's one of the better ways because the competition level is quite good across regions and throughout the country with these AAU teams. I think there's some great AAU programs and some tremendous benefits to participating in AAU basketball. Some things are better than others with it, but overall, I think it's pretty solid.
Anderson, he's checked in for Jackson. Los Angeles on D. Doubled by Murray. Tolliver for three. Rebounded by Howard. Lakers have gone only 6 of 14 from the field in the fourth. Morris right side. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. And I just love the skill set that Markieff Morris has, Greg, at that forward position.
He really is a do-it-all type of forward for this team. He can step outside and shoot, but has no problem guarding anyone on the front line of the opposition.
And he makes the first. The Grizzlies making a switch here. Melton's checked in. That one falls, so he hits both of them. Memphis has gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Mark, should the NBA consider widening the court to even out the value of those corner threes?
You know, that wouldn't be a bad idea, Kevin. But I also like the fact that there's a deep three at the top and on the wing. And then you've got a little shorter three if you can get to that corner. Widening the lane to make that three more in line or symmetrical with the deep three at the top. I kind of like having a short corner three.
I agree with you. And here again, Los Angeles in transition. Up the court they go.
Ripping and running. They have a big advantage now in those transition opportunities.
No expiration date on their legs. They just seem to be fresh. And they're putting those fresh legs to good use.
Pass to Tolliver. Three-pointer. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
There you go again. A nice kick out after the knee had collapsed on him.
And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
No question, he got marked on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious. He's simply just willing himself to the line here.
And Los Angeles with some changes. Kyle Kuzma's checked in for Howard. Green comes in for Murray. And it's Avery Bradley in for Caldwell Pope. The pass to Allen. Anderson outside. Some nice passing there by Memphis. And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul. Shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. First free throw is good. Clark, there are a lot of factors a free agent puts into selecting the new team that he goes to. Talk about the factors that aren't basketball for these free agents.
Well, I think you could see some of them if you gave it some thought, Kevin. You think about it, market size, nightlife for some guys is important. Business opportunities when you think about places like Silicon Valley or New York or Los Angeles. Season of life for the individual player in terms of his family and where he might want to reside after he's done playing. So there are a number of different things that contribute to free agents making moves from one team to the next.
Now, did you have a family, Clark, when you played your last couple of years in the NBA?
We were without children, but it was Rosie and I. We've been married 4 years, and then our family started right after I retired. All distribution was there. I mean, outstanding work all the way around.
Got a piece of it. Inside. There's Allen. That's good on the assist by Anderson. 6 points for Allen.
Nice touch there near the hoop.
Pass to Morris. Here's the kid. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Yeah, easy call.
Yeah, you can hear the smack all the way over here where we are.
And the first one at the line is good. Both free throws good from the kid. Memphis has gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. Allen surveying the D. The dish to Tolliver. Jackson passes to Allen. 4 on the shot. Launches it. Rebounded by the Lakers. Kuzma's got his 5th rebound in this one. To the middle. Here's Bradley. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist. Bradley's got his first 2 points of the night.
Yeah, he's shown terrific control of the pace and the rhythm of this offense.
You know, numbers don't always tell the story, guys, but his assist totals do paint the picture here. I mean, he's got everybody involved.
Anderson dishes to Tolliver. And the call on the shot sends him to the line. It's going to go on Markieff Morris. But there are strong divisions and there are weak divisions. The NBA might be considering removing divisions altogether and having only 2 conferences. What do you think?
You know, that's interesting. I like the divisions because that's what we've been accustomed to, but just having straight conferences, I wouldn't see much harm in that. You'd adjust the schedule accordingly in terms of how many games you play within the conference and how many times each opponent, but I think that could work.
Tolliver hits them both. Los Angeles has gone to the three-pointer 11 times tonight, nailed 5 of them.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Lakers.
And this was one that never really was in doubt. I thought an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And so they'll be advancing their win total to 42 games.
And on the season, this is going to be their 3rd win in 4 games against this team.
And you could see, Greg, how badly they wanted this win. For 2 very familiar opponents, a win in the season series really carries an awful lot of extra weight.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for the kid.
And, you know, there was no stopping him tonight. Whenever he got the ball, he was looking to score, and rightly so.
And they came in determined to take this one. It's going to be a happy flight home.
Yep, to have a stress-free win on the road, very satisfying. The fans are already headed for the exit.
2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Shooting Memphis. And Utah. 2 shots.
The first one falls. Tolliver hits them both. 17 seconds left in the 4th quarter. And the Lakers can just let the clock run down here. Passes to Green. Here's the kid. Los Angeles winning this one easily. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
And that about wraps it up for Greg Anthony.